which is startsmallthinkbig.org, called Shop Our Businesses. And that is intended to highlight the growing list of businesses with whom we are working, who have been able to transition their sales online.
Ken said, and I think we might be an example of start big, think smaller. People remember that life goes on and that people can adjust to different jobs. And we'll all look forward to getting back to the museum when it reopens, hopefully this summer, but stay tuned.
Go South pairs students from wealthy universities with nonprofits in the South. We use a host city model. So we're currently in Savannah, Georgia, and Charleston, West Virginia. There has probably never been a better time to be able to be in a position to share human capital with nonprofits that are struggling in Southern communities right now. I think another good thing to come out of this is that we've just seen so much student interest and commitment to doing this work and working in nonprofits, working in the public sector.
Which is by saying that this is such a bright spot. In a crisis like this, in the coming crises we'll see with climate change, what we most need is community. We need it to plan intelligently on a collective basis, and we need it for resilience.
I was involved with Dwight Hall throughout my time at Yale, mainly through the Yale Refugee Project and the initiatives that spearheaded from that project. And the most important thing is my work in IRIS, in the Integrated Refugee and Immigrant Services over the summer after my freshman year. And that is really the main work that was supported by YANA and by Dwight Hall over the summer. This crisis has showed me that my classmates and I are very much willing to reach out to each other and be there together, even virtually.
What an adaptation in and of itself, right, is to communicate and have energy and passion over Zoom. And it was an amazing experience. The ethos of Yale taught me after 20 years of being in the construction industry that so what, now what? Especially in Fortune 500 builders, and I was with the largest builder in the world, D.R. Horton, in leadership, and I was one of 7 women in the division leadership, division president and regional president status amongst 7,000 employees. 7 women. 7. So, you know, that is the disparity of gender equity in construction and in so many other industries. There's $25,000 in the bank back in December, and then had some private donors match that to about $40,000 as we were going into our pilot programming in January. And Lowe's jumped on board. They pilot funded my 3 pillar programs, which are Explorer Girls, which is 9 to 12-year-old girls getting drills and power tools in their hands. We also have Builder Girls Club, which is middle school. Only 14% of American schools have, in the secondary school system, actually have technical education and technology education. In the middle schools, it's almost non-existent. And then Women at Work trade circles. So trade circles and expos to get women immediately connected. A job fair's on its ear and doing things like how to do social media posts, how to be relevant to 16 to 24-year-olds, how to have women who want a different career. They're disenfranchised in cubicles, but want this empowerment of starting a business. So I'm very startup culture oriented. What do we do next? The trades are a very viable tool. That doesn't mean you can't be a CEO. So what are we doing with the 9 to 14-year-olds? I call it the 2028 skills. So we're also teaching them the future of construction. If I have anything to do with anything as far as legacy goes, A, it's gender equity in the trades. I want to see equal seats at the table and a whole heck of a lot more female CEOs in construction. And then I also want to solve the housing affordability crisis. If we're going to change affordable housing, which is in the top 50 MSAs across the country, we're going to have to 3D print it, and we're going to have to disrupt the supply chain. So by 2028, I want girls to be right in the middle of that, and she built the city. So that's a big part of what we teach our 9 to 14-year-olds, is started thinking every single nonprofit that's out there puts themselves on the line every single day. Right now is relevant, and everyone's story is relevant. So ever, I do have donors that are relevant to me, and I know who those donors are, and I will not stop talking to them just because we're in a COVID form. So we're a tier 1 to someone, and that's in workforce development, and that is inspiring girls to choose a trade that is going to change their life. And
panelists were wonderful tonight. Thank you so much. I know we ran a little bit over time, but I think it was worth it. And please come back next month, May 27th, and we're going to do it again.